Thank you for joining Effortless Attraction. My name is Evelyn McAleer. I'm the author of A Life You Want, Effortless, and The Woman's Journey. I'm a life coach, business mentor, and inspirational speaker. And my greatest value is making a difference in people's lives. So I hope through these podcasts I can make a difference to your life.
Effortless Attraction Podcast is sponsored by Maria Young Wellbeing, wellness mentor and creator of Infusion, a platform designed to inspire health, wealth, abundance, and a life lived with purpose. Maria conducts events, trainings, and the blending of practical tools for lasting change. Her mission is simple: to help you live well and rise strong. You can explore more at www.mariayoungwellbeing.co.uk or infusion.mn.co.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on another Effortless Attraction podcast. Well, today I'm delighted to introduce my guest, Paddy Morrison. Paddy has travelled from Ireland to Spain to join me for this conversation, and he's here with his wife, Anne. Paddy is the founder of Morrliving Limited, based in Coleraine in County Derry, and his journey into this work is really fascinating. Paddy originally worked as a chartered accountant for more than 20 years, but at the age of 40, he made what many would see as a huge leap of faith. With 3 children, a mortgage, and all the responsibilities of family life, he decided it was finally time to follow the work he truly felt called to do. While still working full-time, Paddy spent 5 years training part-time and qualified as a Neuro-Muscular Therapist with the National Training Centre in Dublin, and since then he's continued to study and expand his understanding of the body through different approaches. Now, what makes Paddy's work particularly interesting is that he works with the body not only on a physical level, but also emotionally and energetically. One of the things that I find most fascinating is the understanding that the body holds a memory of everything we have experienced in our past. So I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. It's available on audio and you can also watch it on video. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on another Effortless Attraction podcast. Today I am joined by Paddy Morrison and we're here in Casa de Rosa. You're most welcome to Spain, Paddy.
Thank you very much. It's nice to be here. Looking forward to having a chat. As you said, it's just a chat, but we'll see how it goes.
Well, you know, the ethos behind Effortless Attraction is always about making a difference for the better in people's lives. And it has been perfect, yourself and Anne coming out here, because I got to experience what it is that you do. Mm-hmm. So now I can talk freely and brilliantly about it. But let's go back a wee bit. You didn't always do what you're currently doing at the minute. You were a chartered accountant for how many years?
More than 20 years. It seems like a lifetime ago now. I can still look back on it fondly. I have no regrets about changing my career. It provided for my family and everything else. But a new chapter, turned over a new chapter, and I haven't looked back since. It is. You
said something that Anne had said, what I thought was quite funny. Anne said that you waited till you had a mortgage and children before you decided to give up the safety of the wage.
Yes. It was, why did I wait till I was 40, had a big mortgage, 3 children, before I had my road to Damascus, the light on me. And But sometimes again, you don't pick the timing chooses you.
Yeah.
So I guess when I look back at it now, those 20 years since that particular time, it seems like the blink of an eye. So it obviously was the right choice. I know in my heart it was the right choice, and I think Anne probably would also agree that it was the right choice.
Now, I know, but that is a huge leap of faith. Now, I know I'm going to get on to what it is that you do, but I have had podcasts with many different people that have taken the leap of faith into something that's their passion, something that puts fire in their belly, that makes their heart sing. What you're doing now, Paddy, do you feel your heart sings a wee bit more than when you were doing the accountancy?
Oh, for sure. I maybe sings too loud. It's tends to drown out everything else. It's like, I wouldn't say it was a different Paddy. It was a different version of me. I wouldn't say, someone asked me once, what do you want to do, or does it? And when I was always describing before what I was an accountant or whatever, I was describing it like it's not quite me.
Yeah.
But now I can say what I'm doing now is most definitely me. It describes me. If I was describing me, I would say, yep, he's practicing what he preaches, and I feel more comfortable in my current vocation, for want of a better word. What I feel I have I won't say a calling to do. I feel I'm much more useful to my family, myself, and the people that I deal with. I was a good accountant, but I'm a better therapist or a physical therapist. So I think that.
Do you find the two different lines of work, head-based, heart-based, and certainly when you're in your own business, you have to think logically and practically and stuff like that. And certainly going through school, you pick careers because there's good pay at that, and maybe good pension, and that's how a lot of people have chose their careers in life. And then you get trapped sometimes in that 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. But as you said, maybe my heart sings very loudly. And I have heard you, whenever you, in these few days, how passionately that you speak about what it is that you do. Could you sum up for our listeners, our viewers, what exactly you do now?
What I do now is I treat people first. They would come with, I won't say a multitude of either dysfunction. So that could be physical pain, it could be emotional pain, it could be mental, or even energetic or spiritual. So they come to myself. It's mostly referrals, mostly it's from clients who've been in with me, and they've said, go and see this man, he did wonders for me. And it could be someone who came in with a sore neck or a knee pain or whatever else, but get him to do some of his funny stuff or his voodoo stuff on you.
That's what people think that it is. They think it's voodoo.
Yeah. I did, for the first 15 years of the physical therapy, I was very much hands-on. My training and background was with my local GAA team, so it was very much contact sport, contact injuries. I could see the injury happening. I knew what to do. I knew, yes, there's a neck problem, there's a knee problem. And then what I found as time has gone by, people were coming in because they had pain and they were associating it with a physical pain, or it presented as a physical pain, but there was no mechanism of injury. So I almost had to start from scratch and go, okay, why is this pain presenting on a woman or a man or a child or whatever it was? So I had to be a bit of a detective. And as my training or my experience or the courses I did, or even my own experience, has changed how I treat people now, on how they come in, and how maybe they're coming in maybe they don't know what to expect when they're coming in, and they certainly, when they're going out, they go, I have no idea what just happened, but I feel different. And that's what you asked.
As you said, physical, emotional pain that the body stores it.
Holds, yeah.
Well, I'll share my experience that we had the other night, because as I said to Paddy, show me what you do and then I'll understand it. And because a lot of my work is about mindset and about affirmations and about manifestation, we say things and we voice the words and believe it, and then you'll see it. So I done this test run. I got Paddy to test me out on a belief I believed I had. A real positive one, a real good one. And Paddy put me over that affirmation that I believe that I am worthy of blah, blah, blah. And as soon as I said this, my body, I didn't have to say any words or anything. My body let Paddy know, Evelyn doesn't believe this. I thought, we need to fix this. We need to fix this. So then he was able to take me to the next, which is, I believe I can, which was a future. And the body could understand that. But here's my understanding of it all. Then Paddy was able to take me back to when this fear of accepting or receiving, anyway, it was 6 years of age, whatever took place. And the good thing is, I don't have to rack my memory to think, what did happen then? I don't need to voice nothing.
Nope.
Because the body, that's the mystery, I think, that people think it's voodoo. The body tells you what it needs. Is that correct?
The body is always communicating. And sometimes the person either doesn't recognize it, doesn't see it as an inner voice. It doesn't see it as it trying to communicate, because that's normal to them. So the method that I have trained in, the method that I have sort of like morphed in, for want of a better word, I still do all my other manual therapy techniques. This is just now I call it the front end. So instead of me trying to work out what is wrong, the answer and the information is in the person's body. I'm not having to try and rack my brain. It's almost like I don't even have the responsibility to fix this person, because they're coming to be fixed because they have some sort of pain or dysfunction or trauma held in their body, but they don't associate with maybe an older picture or an older experience. So the method that I use taps into a part of their body, a part of their nervous system that holds all the information, and most of it I try to explain to people. We've got two parts of our brain. One is conscious brain, conscious thinking. And when I say to them that only accounts for about maybe 5 to 10% of the processing power that's going on in their brain, and 90 to 95% happens, some people call it subconscious. I actually just call it pre-conscious now, because pre-conscious happens before your conscious brain kicks in. So these are reflexive, or they're part of your brain that stores your emotions and your memories. So all we have been able to do is integrate another technique from another modality to interview that person's nervous system in real time, and let that person's nervous system tell me what. Sorry.
No, you're grand. I was going to say that when you're saying about the nervous system to tell you, it's not, I didn't have to voice nothing. You asked my body a question, and by just doing something, my body, just by a movement, would be answering yes or no, and it's the strangest thing.
Yeah, some people will ask me, have I got power?
Yeah.
And I tell people, no, I have no power whatsoever. It's just there. It's almost like I'm letting people know how their body can communicate. And it's, I call it binary. Pre-conscious only knows, it's very simple, yes or no. So that part of your brain is always filtering information. So the method of connecting or asking that nervous system is asking, is this okay? So it's very much your nervous system or the person's nervous system replying yes or no.
Can you give us a wee example of what you're talking about, so that people, we do understand, but I know you can't mention clients' names, but any particular cases that you can discuss?
The first, the simplest case everybody's talking about is the one that's most personal to me, is my own case, in that I would always like to think of myself as fairly athletic, and some people in Coleraine, people would just know me as Paddy Stretch, because I was always doing some sort of physical therapy, yoga, Pilates, you name it, I did it. And there was this one particular day about 4 or 5 years ago, I had spent 2 hours in my usual routine in the mornings. I'd go off and do my little daily rituals. And I went to roll up my mat after my practice, and I was like, oh, that's a bit strange. I feel a little bit odd, a little bit funny. By the end of the day, I couldn't stand up. I wouldn't say herniated a disc, or I had pinched a nerve, and my body was like, ooh, that's enough for that. So I spent then, I would say, the next 6 months going to chiropractor, osteopath, physiotherapist, acupuncturist. And I got a treatment from a friend who had done a previous course. That's how I knew this person. And they did all the usual stuff that I would have done with my clients. And then as we were finishing up, and she goes, can I just check something on you? And she just gave me her hand, and she was smaller than you, she's a tiny little thing. And she says, push up. And I thought, right, I'll go easy and I'll push up really strong. And I was like, yep. She goes, I'm just going to rub your shoulder now and push up again. And I was like, so it was almost like my power, my brain's ability to initiate the movement completely switched off. And I was like, what did you do there? It says, I was just testing your nervous system to see if it was stuck in fight or flight. And I was like, what do you mean? So she was able to demonstrate with a little rub or stimulate nerve endings on my skin. And my nervous system was able to go, hold on a minute, something's going on there. And it interpreted whether it was okay, safe for me to do it, or safe, whether the stimulus was safe. And it just sparked this complete journey that I've been on in the last 5 years that has completely not changed the way I treat people, changed how I can help people. And it takes the focus completely away from me being a good therapist to me being someone who can listen to how that person's body is either trying to talk to me or talk to the person with no words whatsoever. So it's almost non-verbal. We can either do what's called a therapy localized, where either, if I'm holding, we're electrical beings, so there is an energetic field around you, in you, and same in me, as if I'm holding you, we have a connection. Yeah. And it's then, they call it therapy localizing, so I could touch chest, throat, jaw, elbow. And if everything is okay in that particular part of the body or that anatomy, the brain goes, no problem. Strong contraction, a strong initiation of the movement. If there is a problem, and again, I don't know what the problem is yet, it will test weak, or it will be like, oh, where's my, Paddy, you're pushing down really hard now. And I always tell people that I'm not pushing at all I'm doing is I'm waiting for the initiation or the contraction.
Because sometimes, like for me doing it the other night, it didn't compute. I thought he must be pushing differently. He must be moving my hand different. But it took me a little while to get into it and to understand it all, Paddy. But you're definitely a man that you are the end result of the things that you speak about, because you're up here, and you might see this, it might be on holiday. You're up at the crack of dawn and you're away out there with your yoga mat. So what is your morning ritual?
Well, my morning routine can be any time from, it's usually obviously first light. Sometimes it's before first light. I like to get up. My wife likes to lie in. I don't. So I'm up and out of the bed. I call it my daily check-in with myself. So there's an element of I'm asking my nervous system, is it okay? So that can be some internal reboots or resets to set my hypothalamus, which controls heart rate and blood pressure. So and we use reflex points, breath, breathing, parasympathetic or relaxed breath, so in through your nose, out through your mouth. And then I might move on then to body, physical, and it's a check in from head to toe. Sometimes it can take 5 minutes, sometimes it can take an hour, but sometimes it's just a way of me touching base. Is my head okay? Yeah, no bother. Thoracic okay? Physically going through top to bottom, and then trying to get heart rate, blood pressure, all of these things. I've got into a routine that once I get myself ready for the day, and then I can treat the client coming in, because I know my energy's good, my nervous system is good, I feel good about myself, and the people that I come in contact, if I believe it, and I honestly believe it right to the very core, that this is what most people should, this is what everybody should, anybody who's breathing and alive and getting up should be looking after themselves. Sometimes, if that person's nervous system has had repeated stress or trauma, they can't reconnect or they can't reset themselves. So they need somebody like me then to go, geez, I'm in a bit of bother here. I don't know why. I've got a pain. I didn't fall downstairs. There was no mechanism of injury. Can you help? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I can help your body make sense of what's going on. So that's what I feel that I'm doing now, is that I can use through these integration of 20 years, but more so in the last few years, where I've been much better at listening to somebody else's body talk without talking, which is the strangest thing. If someone had done this, when someone did this to me 5 years ago, I was disbelieving. But this is then, I would call it, morphed into, because I was very much physical. But this method of treating now can treat, for me, it treats physical, it treats emotional, it treats mental or energetic, because the body only knows one language. And that's this filter, threat filter, for whatever you want to call it. But the body is always looking out, trying to protect you. So sometimes these pains, whatever they are, these feelings, this heaviness, maybe is your body's way of protecting you. And you don't see it as a protective mechanism. You see it as, there's something wrong with me, and the body's just doing one thing, it's looking out for you. So it's maybe recognizing that.
Well, that's great that, as you say, whenever you first learned about this, it's probably like, why does everybody not know about this? Why have we not been told about this? But you're now here to provide that service for people. And also when you're away, you have the son manning the fort. So Morrliving. It's a family business.
It is indeed. It's myself, my wife and my son. We all have, I would call, different skill sets, different stages of our careers. Emmett, who's very much, I won't say me, because I'm a mini me when he stands beside me. He's like 6 foot, and we're like, So Emmett, my son, is getting what, if I had to do it again, if I had to relive this particular part of my career, he's getting it, but he's getting it in fast forward. He's getting a compressed version and almost like a reverse. And I'm like, Emmett, this is, and so he's taken to it like a duck to water. It's someone who's much younger to me. He always points out, Dad, I can absorb it like a sponge, which is maybe a little bit disconcerting, but I don't mind that. It's when I think of Emmett, I think it's like any parent. There's nothing that makes me prouder that if my son is better at doing it than me, it can do it better. And I tell him at times, yep, you're better at that than me. And I have nothing but pride in that. Anne has a much more organised head on her. So she's like, we can, that needs to be on a bigger audience. So she would be the driving force of more people need to hear about this, because
she was the woman that contacted me.
When she first contacted you, and I thought Anne was going over to do the podcast or the interview, and then it was, we will go over. And by the time we're here, it was, you're doing the podcast. So it suddenly changed from something that we could do, because I think she sees the benefit that this can be to a bigger audience or a wider audience that even I can't see. Because sometimes I'm looking at the client in front of me, so I'm dealing with the client or whoever's coming in here. So I'm helping them, but she's like, there are people out there who need this therapy. As strange and as voodoo-like or as mystical-like. So I'm trying to...
I think people that are into energy don't see it as voodoo anymore. I think if people are just, well, this is the way it has to be done, or the way that we've been trained in it. You're not, by the way, in any of your work, we had this discussion the other day, dissing any medical profession. This is another alternative, which perhaps the medical profession does not see, or when it's to do with the body, the energy of the body. But we'll not go down that avenue. But it's not voodoo. It's voodoo. It's probably strange for people that have never got a chance to experience it. Tell us where you are based and how people can get in touch with you, Paddy.
We're based in Coleraine. Website morrliving.co.uk. It's very accessible. There's a clinic there, a couple of treatment rooms, a rehab and physical therapy studio. It is, we are on Instagram. We're on. I'm trying, and I've learned over the last 5 years new skills of videoing or talking, or trying to I thought I was improving, but again, you're always, and someone points out to you, and usually my wife, it's too wordy. There is too much information going on, and I'm like, but I really want to tell people about this. It's amazing. I can't wait to tell people, and they're like, it's over their heads. It's too much. So I won't say I'm trying to distill it. I'm trying to make it less voodoo. For some people, when they see there's a whole science behind it, I can bring in that science because that's what interests me. That's my logical accountancy brain could go, bum, 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 debits and credits, this is what's happening here. So that, for me, is bringing it out of maybe the realms of, oh, that's energy or that's voodoo, or that doesn't make... When you feel your own body talking to you, because when you watch it, you probably can't make sense of it either. But when you have had it, when you've experienced it, you have a different opinion on it. It goes, oh, I know what that feels like. When you see someone's arm going floppy or non-reactive, it's like, he's at his work there, he's doing something. But all I'm doing is maybe highlighting how that body's trying to communicate.
Yeah. Well, there's always a phrase, I can't remember who said it, have a mind open to everything and attached to nothing. I think if we all lived our lives like that, I'm open to everything, let's give this a shot, because I'll tell you what, if somebody's carrying around injury or ailments or mental problems or physical, anything, energetic problems within their body, you'll do anything to get yourself right, to get yourself leveled up. I will be putting all of your details in the description below this podcast. I'll put in your Instagram and Facebook and your website details. Certainly, ladies and gentlemen, if you're intrigued or interested, go on to his Instagram page and check out some of his non-wordy videos that he's very good at doing, and get yourself an appointment. I have been singing this man's praises to my group of women, and it's not that some of them have a few. There's a lady that had food issues, and it showed up again. I think, now, go to Paddy. The body will tell what it needs to be done. Somebody else that the skin is starting to carry fluid or breaking out in acne, go to Paddy. The body will tell,
It's I won't say straight. I look at it now like this method or this modality can, for me, look at, but the body is really smart. I don't even have to make the decisions. There is what you would call a priority. The body will know in what order it wants it, whether it's physical first, whether it's so there's an element, if I listen, the body will tell me, and then the healing happens quicker because it's ready to accept the next stage of the healing or the next release of the trauma. And for me, it's very black and white. I tell people, I fix no one. I don't mind, and I look forward to anyone coming through the door, whether they have a physical, it doesn't matter what type of issue they have coming through, I can deal with it. I can use these techniques to treat that person physically, mentally, emotionally. And that person hopefully then will start to heal properly, because I fix no one. The body has all the answers. I just have to listen to it.
Well, Paddy, thank you for listening to me and answering questions today. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time, for listening or for watching this podcast episode. And Paddy, I wish you only success, and I hope that more people come through that door, because I'll tell you what, if we all started to get ourselves a bit more aligned or begin our morning even better, I'll tell you what, this world will be a far better place to live in.
Indeed.
Thank you so much.
You've been listening to Effortless Attraction with Evelyn McAleer. If you're enjoying the podcast, you can support the show on Spotify for just £1.99 a month. You'll unlock exclusive episodes, and your support helps keep these conversations going. The link is in the description. Thank you.